Hey, if you're still awake, tonight we're finishing our conversation about joy. And I think joy does something interesting, something beautiful. It grows when it's shared, not because the moment becomes larger, but because the experience becomes deeper, more meaningful, more human. I sound a lot better than I did in my last two segments. Segments doesn't make sense. Last two videos, last two discussions I had with you, the viewer, not the viewer, the listener. I sound a lot better. I feel a lot more confident. I feel like when I say the words that's going to come out my mouth, it's going to be a lot more crisp and clearer because not only I gave myself a short 1 hour break, but I've also drank a lot of water. I digress. I just want to give that caveat out there. Why success isn't enough. I think most people spend parts of their lives chasing something. Let me repeat that. That was horrible. I think most people spend part I think most people spend part of their lives chasing something. Success, achievement, recognition, accomplishment. And there's nothing wrong with any of those things. Goals matter. Ambition matter. Growth matters. But eventually, many people discover something surprising. Success feels different when there's nobody to share it with. The promotion feels different. The victory feels different. The achievement feels different. Because that was horrible. Because humans weren't designed to experience life entirely alone. We were built for connection, built for community, built to celebrate together, built to grieve together, built to live together. And even the greatest accomplishments can feel strangely empty when there's nobody besides us. You know, I thought that drinking water would make me sound better. Actually, I just need to slow down, if I'm being honest, to avoid the tongue tiedness. Just slow down. And I think you guys will slow down with me. So let's take it smooth and slowly. The multiplication effect. Have you ever noticed how joy changes when another person enters the room? A joke becomes funnier. A meal tastes better. Good news feels bigger. A sunset becomes more beautiful. A victory becomes more meaningful. The moment itself hasn't changed, but the experience has. Because joy multiplies through connection. That's why some of our favorite memories involve people, not events, not accomplishments, not rewards, but people, friends, family, partners, children, conversations, shared experiences, shared laughter, shared life, marriage. Because at the end of the day, we rarely remember the things. We remember who was there. I think that was a really good segment. Like speaking wise, I think that was a really good segment. The people who made life lighter. Think about the people who made difficult seasons easier. Not because they solved your problems, not because they had all the answers, because they showed up. A phone call, a conversation, a text, a hug, a laugh, a check-in. A reminder that you weren't carrying everything alone. Sometimes joy arrives disguised as another person. Sometimes healing arrives disguised as another person. Sometimes hope arrives disguised as another person. And we don't fully appreciate those people until much later. until we realized how much lighter they made the journey. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I think I'm getting somewhere. Becoming someone else's joy. I think one of the most beautiful parts of growing older is realizing how much impact small kindness can have. The encouragement you almost didn't send, the compliment you almost didn't give, the text message you almost forgot, the conversation you almost avoided. Small things, joyful things. Yet, those small things can completely change someone else's day. Something that I take notice even now in my present day. Sometimes someone's week, sometimes someone's life, because we rarely know what another person is carrying. We rarely know what battle they're fighting, which means small acts of kindness often matter more than we realize. And that brings me to the legacy. Let me repeat that. That brings me to the legacy of joy. I think joy leaves fingerprints long after the moment is over, long after the conversation ends, long after people move on, long after life changes. We remember how people made us feel. We remember who encouraged us, who believed in us, who made us laugh, who stayed, who showed up. That's the beautiful thing about joy. It doesn't disappear. It echoes. It continues. It gets carried. Every time I see the letter F, it's like, it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. I hate it. Do you? You should. You should support me. If I say I hate something, you should say I hate it too for you too, speaker. Now continue what you were saying so I can enjoy my rest. Okay, sorry. It gets carried forward into future conversations, future friendships, future acts of kindness. And sometimes the joy we receive becomes the joy we eventually give away. Who has brought joy into your life? The listener. Who made a difficult season easier? My mom did. Let me tell you, shout out to my mom. And you know, this channel is not big enough for me to show her. It's kind of embarrassing at the same time. If she were to see this channel, maybe because the size of it. But am I growing to get bigger or am I growing to help? Who knows? But shout out to my mom. She makes my difficult seasons a lot easier. And I want her to know that her appreciation is ingrained in internet history for eternity. Eternity. And let this be the video that does it. My mom. Mommy is your son. I know you guys, the listener, like, what is he doing? Why is this speaker way off topic? Let this be a note to my mom. Mommy is your son 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 1 year from now. Whenever the channel is successful, just know I love you. That's embarrassing. I digress. Who helped carry a burden they didn't create? Who needs encouragement from you right now? What kind of impact do you want your presence to have on the people around you? Joy isn't only something we experience. It's something we create, something we share, something we pass along. And often the greatest joys in life involve another person standing beside us. That's true. Maybe that's why connection matters so much. Because life feels different when it's shared. Lighter, richer, fuller. Why did I say it like that? Fuller. Lighter, richer, fuller, more meaningful, more human. Joy isn't dismissed when it's giving away. Somehow, it just grows. If you're still awake tonight, remember, some of the best parts of life become even better when they're shared. Reach out, check in, tell someone you appreciate them. You never know how much light a small act of kindness can create. The room will reopen on Tuesday night. I'll leave the light on for you.